Good evening, everybody. Welcome to PatFacts. Patrick Barrie back, personal fitness. It's the 22nd of September. I'm very happy to have back two guests that we just had on a couple of weeks ago. Marilyn from the Barrie Terry Fox Run Committee and Darren from the Edmonton Terry Fox Committee. And they're here to let us know how their events went respectively. They each sort of had a little different twist on how they're going to run things. And also coming up soon, it's the school date for the Barrie Terry Fox Run. So we're going to talk a little bit more of that and bring some awareness to that event as well. So you're sure to check those backpacks for those sponsorship forms and things like that. So we'll go ahead and bring on Marilyn. Welcome, Marilyn. And Darren, hello.
Hey, thanks for having us back.
Oh, great to have you. Let's like Darren, the meat of the sandwich. Awesome, great to see everyone. So we'll go across the board. I guess the way we're lined up now, maybe. And maybe Darren, if you want to let us know how things went for you guys at Edmonton.
You know, we had a great day. It was fantastic for a virtual run. We did set up. We had a live welcoming, which instead of 3,500 to 5,000 people, we had 52 people out. In Edmonton, COVID's a pretty hot thing right now, so we didn't push to have people out. That's just people show up. It's the Terry Fox event. They do it, and it was a fantastic day. We didn't set up a course, although our course has been the same for many years. People just walk and run it. It's also a nice spot in the city. So for a nice day, people go out walking. It was phenomenal to see. We did sell merchandise. We had a couple of tents out to sell our merchandise and collect donations, as some people do like to come in and they feel good, I think, personally handing the donation to you and having the chance to talk. So we did collect money. We sold merchandise, but you saw families with all of the different year shirts walking throughout the day. And it was really neat. It just, other people ask, where was that from? And it's like, oh, that was like 10 years ago, or that was the 25th anniversary or the 15th year shirt. And they're like, wow. And it's like, yes, that's how important this is. And it doesn't go away. You can have a pandemic happening and a Terry Fox run still happens, whether you can have it live or not. So in that case, we had a phenomenal day.
That's awesome, great to hear. And following you guys on Instagram, both accounts, but seeing the Edmonton as well, I could see you guys with your events and the warm up going and everything going on. And I think that's such an important message that maybe a lot of us need a reminder of that. Yes, there's a pandemic going on, but there are ways to do things, and we've found ways to do a lot of things over the past almost 2 years now. And there's ways we can still be involved and be active and be a community. And I talked last week on PatFacts about unity and how important it is. And it's a nice way to come together and be together, whether we're face-to-face or whether we're virtually. I was lucky this year to have I'm from Nova Scotia originally, and I had a contingent from there on my team this year because we were virtual. So they did the run and the walk as they went. But we all kind of did it together. So it was nice that way. It was kind of making the positive out of the negative of not being able to be in person with each other is to do something similar and do something together for a wonderful cause and to try to bring some normalcy to whatever it is going on right now. Yeah. And that continues to go on. So that's awesome. Great to hear. Marilyn, how about you? How are things here in the Barrie area?
Well, we had an absolutely glorious day weather-wise. It was the sun was shining. I think it was about 23 degrees, so we couldn't have asked for better conditions. We didn't have to anchor down our tent at all for fear that we were all going to end up out in Kempenfelt Bay. It was similar to what Darren is saying. You know what? We put up our tents. We sold merchandise. One of the things I really noticed, and I don't know whether it was just because of the beautiful lake backdrop that we have, but these T-shirts stood out like amazing. They were just, you saw groups of 8 and 10 people walking, and you could see them coming, for hundreds of meters away. It was like, there they are way around at the South Shore Community Center, and we're going to catch them as they come around. We went out, a bunch of us went out and walked. We went to playgrounds and stood there and handed out tattoos and stickers and ribbons and, reminded the kids of why we were there, and families were very involved. We made sure we asked mom and dad first before we handed them out. And kids were so excited to get that Terry Fox sticker. And I think one of the things that make you realize just how important this is that when you say to a little 6-year-old, "Do you know who Terry Fox is?" They go, "Yeah, we learn about him at school." And there's not a lot of things I think that you can say that you learn about in grade 1 that you still remember as an adult, that you can say, "Hey, I remember when I was in grade 1 and they taught me about Terry Fox," right? So I think it just demonstrates the importance of Terry's legacy.
Yeah, that's so true. And like you said, it's funny to look now with social media. My memories all week were from past Terry Fox runs, and my daughter, who's 6, each year of her mom doing a run pregnant, and then being with her as a baby. And then for those that saw the picture I posted, was her and I in 2018 crossing the finish line together as we ran across on our team. And she's been a part of it every year, and they do it at school. And it's one of those, it almost seemed like one of those first things that they kind of recalled, almost, that, "Oh yeah, Terry Fox run. Yeah, we did that at school, and we talk about it. And oh, we did it with you, Daddy. Now we're doing it at school. And I ran this many laps around the field." And really the story sinks in. It seems to make a lasting impression, which is so great to see. And they ask the questions and move on. And then every year we kind of add a little more to that. And I remember the first year, I think that year 2018 when we ran, we finished and ran, and then, "Well, we're going to do it next week, Daddy. Is the Terry Fox run?" "No, it's next year. We have 20 year to go through it." But learning that concept of time. But yeah, it's so impressive to see the legacy that Terry continues to have. I'm 41 myself, so I was born in October of the year he was doing the marathon. So for everyone to see that and the impression he's had on me, and like I mentioned last time with my work with the military, it's such a big event there with the Canadian Armed Forces. So it's been neat to go through these different facets of it. And now as someone who puts in his own team, it's been interesting to kind of have different perspective of it, and just to see it from all different sides. I've led some warm-ups, I've emceed the event a couple times, and then to put a team in and participated for years. So it's really neat to see. And in person, typically you see all the little kids and the big kids and the grown-ups and everyone all together, and being a good community, and that's what we're all about. And again, trying to keep Terry's legacy moving forward. So awesome to hear that the events went so well, and that you guys had such great weather. It was an awesome day here in Barrie that day, so that's nice, because it's iffy some years here. Like I'm sure in Edmonton, some years it's a little wet and chilly.
Snowy.
Yeah, we're snowy for you. Yeah, so far we haven't had one of those, but who knows? But yeah, that's great to see that it went so well. Hey, Natty, you see Natty's there joining us. Want to say hello. So do you guys have totals yet of what you raised, or are you still figuring that out? I know donations can come in for those who are looking to donate. I know as a fundraiser, I received an email that until October 12th, we can receive donations. So if you didn't get to sponsor someone yet, or make a donation, or even maybe get out yourself, there's still some time. So I don't know if you guys have totals yet from that, because you're still getting them, or a rough idea of what you've brought in.
I'll let you go first, Marilyn.
So I think right now we're sitting around 76,000 from Run Day, which is a little lower than last year, but we don't have all the funds in yet. And of course, we still have our Superman, Will Dwyer, to put in his funds. And I've just got to add a note about Will, because Saturday morning, he was there by 9:30 in the morning. 96 years old, sat there until they had to take him away at 12:15 or something. His son saying, "Come on, Dad, you got to go have lunch." He would have stayed right to the end. He's such a trooper, and it's so amazing to see people who came by just to see Will. That was pretty cool. And there was another family that came by, Mike Mcdougall's family. Mike was the chair for quite a few years. And his grandkids came by, and they had raised $420 on their own. So nice. That was, it's nice to see when families do that for grandpa and grandma, or for, a family member.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, great. Lost it for a second there. I think we had a little glitch, but that's awesome. So great to hear, and so impressed. That's who I first interacted with was Mike when I first got involved with the committee. So that's so great to see his grandchildren, like you said, raising money on their behalf. And again, I think it really speaks to how Terry Fox sinks in. I kind of thinking back, Remembrance Day always happened. It was always important, and I understood it. But for me, until I actually worked for the military, I kind of got it. And then when I went to Afghanistan, oh, I really got it. Okay, this is Remembrance Day should be this. But Terry Fox, again, it's one of those things that it just sinks in. The story's so great and so motivational. And the kids, again, just take it into it and go in and having someone like, we had Michael on last year with me to chat before the run, and he's such a good storyteller and talker. So I'm sure the kids have heard lots about the Terry Fox runs over the years and what's gone on and how Grandpa's been involved and what he's dealing with as well. So it's so great to see them take that on. And again, it's a nice way for family. I'm going to switch to that fitness guy for a second. Families do it together, be active together, doing some physical fitness together, getting outside in the fresh air. It's always great to see that and have the parents role model for the kids. And sometimes the kids motivate the parents by having the energy and getting them going and bringing them along because maybe they hear about it at school or know what's going on. So that's so great to hear. Darren, do you have any totals for us?
We're a much bigger city than Barrie, and I'm embarrassed to say we're sitting at about 50,000 right now, so way down. But we're Edmontonians. We do things last minute, so I'm still crossing my fingers that that's still out there and coming up. We had 3 different runs on Sunday, so I know that the Terry Fox people will be there, and
sure, that
will come back up, and with the school runs too. A lot of people. We're watching pictures from on our site throughout the weekend. We had our site where we were, but you see pictures of families, like you say, out with their kids taking mom and dad out all across the city. So we know they're all out there. We know they're around now. It's just, hey, don't forget. And Marilyn had kind of mentioned a little earlier, I think before we started, that, there's still time to get some of those things out there. It's not too late. And we're really pushing, it's not too late. Patrick, you said until October 12th for any teams that are doing it. I'm hoping, let's keep it open until we have to shut it down and people can just come in. It's also tough times too right now. So September is back to school month in a relatively still tough financial time. So if we have to wait till November or December till you have some money, hey, we can wait. Cancer's always going to be around. So don't forget, you can donate anytime you want.
I think if we go back to what Terry said, if every Canadian gave a loonie, that's a lot of money in 1 year. So if we even just encourage kids and adults to give that $1, it's not too much to ask.
Right. Yeah.
And I agree so much with you, Marilyn. I thought about that today as I was driving around returning some things. I don't need to have the biggest, fanciest run. Terry was simple. It never was about Terry. It was about helping others. And I was making some videos for some schools today, and I took an old video of Fred saying, you're like Terry as you do your school run today. You're doing something for others. You're not thinking about yourself. You're gracious and you're kind and generous. And that's what Canadians are. And we need to do that. And that's how I think the Terry Fox Foundation is. We're not trying to be the biggest and the best, although I do believe we are the best. We're just grassroots. It's the dollar. There's 35 million people. It's just think about give what you can. Big donations are nice, but everybody, just give a little bit. Don't have that Tim's today. Just give the money. I always tell high school students, don't stop at Starbucks for one day. Donate that money you would have to your Terry Fox run at your school.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think sometimes people get too caught up in the amount and, well, I can't raise a lot of money, so what's the point? And why should I don't feel like I'm making a difference really, but any donation really helps and makes a difference. And like you said, $1 a person and times 35 million. I'm no math whiz, but that's a pretty good donation, a pretty good way to support the foundation. So, I remember the Terry Fox Foundation is around all year. So I know I looked at Facebook has the donate for your birthday,
Right.
raise funds for a cause, and Terry Fox Foundation comes up there, and you can contact the foundation and send things in and make donations if times are tough for you right now. There's ways to do that and to still support when the times are right for you as well. So don't feel like it has to be some kind of huge donation, like Darren said. They'll take it if you have it. It is a big help, but any little bit helps, and whatever you have. And I know some people have done like bottle drives and yard sales and bake sales and things to raise a bit of money. So anything out there will help and make such a huge difference, and is showing that support, and it makes you feel good. We've talked here before about filling your bucket and making yourself feel good, and helping others is a great way to do that. And you fill their bucket because they get the help they need, and we get some research done and advancements, and then you feel good because you've made a difference. You've helped some other people that can really use it, and then that builds us all up and creates what we like to call the positivity pandemic, with that positive energy spreading from person to person. So again, any little bit can make a difference and help. And because of things being virtual, there's no rush, no deadline, really. There's other ways we can get it through there if we need to. October 12th is the team sort of range, but again, there are ways to get it out there. And I like what you said. It's very simple things. Maybe we skip a Tim's, or we leave something out for a day and just donate that money, that $1.25 or whatever a coffee is now. I'm not sure. I don't drink it, so I'm not sure. I don't like it, but something simple like that, or give up something maybe that you enjoy doing, just a little treat that you have once in a while. Tuck that money aside and then send it in as a donation, and it all adds up and can make a huge difference for us. So hey Bonnie, to see you popping in there. Hey Kyle, thanks for hopping on. Thanks everyone for tuning in and checking us out here. Just a little quick question. I know you guys were both talked last time about having the tap payment there. Was that a success for you guys? Did they have a lot take advantage of that? I'm just curious.
I thought it would be, for me, a lot better than it actually turned out to be. I think it's still so new.
Sure.
Some people would say, "Oh, I want to give $20, but then I want the tax receipt." So if you tap, you didn't get that. And then it's new. But it didn't. I had much more hope for it than I did. But again, it was the first year, so sure. Not a lot of us had. I think we can learn from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly the same. And I think if it were something smaller, if it were something you could, walk into somewhere on a Saturday night, like a pub crawl downtown Barrie or something, and just go down the street saying, "Hey, tap for Terry." I think it might be, but it was, yeah. It'll grow on people, but again, a lot of people want the receipt. Mm-hmm. And it's like anything else, it's new, and it takes time for people to adjust.
For sure, yeah.
And it's like you said, Patrick, even though it was probably a small amount compared to what we wanted to, it was still something, and everything helped. So that might have been people that we never would have got before that walked by quickly. And it was like some people saw it and saw how easy. Then I had a few more people do it, but I think we were just maybe $1,000, not even, from Edmonton through that, which is fantastic. It's $1,000 we didn't have.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Sure. Like you said, it's probably growing, and as it goes year to year, again, people think, "Oh, they've got the thing there. We don't need to take cash," or
right.
"We're going for a run. We don't need to take our wallets and stuff as much with us. We'll have our phone anyway. We can tap when we get there and bring that back in." So just one of those things. Just a curiosity for me, thinking how for some, I personally usually don't carry cash on me. So unless I make a trip to the bank for something like this. That's why I like the online fundraising so much, because I don't have to worry about it. I can just submit it, and people can submit it to me that way, and I don't have to handle the money, and it all goes to you guys. Nice.
One of the things that I found really useful this year, and I don't know if they were the same as last year, but on our posters, mm-hmm. put a lot of them right on my posters, and this scan took people right to the Barrie page.
Nice.
So that I thought was, and even on our lanyards, we had ID lanyard badges. And if you turned that around, it scanned people, it went right to the Barrie page. So I thought, I think people are used to that. Mm-hmm. And then they see the funds and they see that it's going in, and, it's easy to fill out. So.
Yeah, it's all about embracing that technology and having ways to do it. And like you said, familiarity. Is key, and that'll grow with both of those, I think, as things go.
Absolutely.
It's quick. It's an instant tax receipt. You can let your name be shown. You can be anonymous and make your donation anonymous. It's the best of everything.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, and like you said, you can those posters are anywhere. We have one in the store I work at. We have a poster with the code on it, so it's right there for people to
Easy.
make a donation if they want to and have it. So that's great. It's all about convenience for people for a lot of times, and to make things as user friendly as we can. So
yeah.
So maybe I wanted to skip back because I had it, then it went away. Just thinking of like you said, just the atmosphere at the Terry Fox events. That's what I like about it. I mentioned last time too, new clients who are new to running, new to racing, sort of thing. There's no pressure with the Terry Fox run. There's no timer going anywhere. There's no chip to put on your shoe. You can just go and enjoy it. And I know here in Barrie, it's by the water. That's so scenic. It's such a great place to be and run around. You can just enjoy the day, and if you don't have a good day, it doesn't matter because it's to raise money and raise awareness and to do our best, and that's what Terry did his best every day. So I did want to circle back to that because I do like that about the run and how relaxed it is as far as a race goes. And remember, you have the option of walk, run, or wheel, whatever makes them not motorized wheel, but wheel, whatever makes the most sense for you. So again, I love the options of it too. It really is user friendly to again bring about that community, and you can have the kids running with parents or pushing their strollers or rollerblading or whatever they need to do. So it's a nice event that way as well.
And all three of us were there, and you don't see people when you know you're doing it for Terry Fox, and it doesn't matter what kind of mood you're in before you get there, it changes. And you guys being on the lake, we're on the river with the trees, so we were only 13 degrees. But the leaves were changing, and it was nice, and people were they see the tent and they smile and they talk to each tent, and it's like, it's just, you can't do Terry Fox things without a smile on your face. Mm-hmm. I've yet to meet that. So it's that's kind of the neat thing.
So Darren, that's a great segue into a short little story I'll share. We went to Whitby, Ontario, which is, on an hour east of Toronto, on Saturday, so that we could do our Terry Fox weeks old. And I knew I would be too busy on Sunday to do the family thing. So we went for a lovely walk through the park, beautiful weather, and my husband had on his red T-shirt. Mm-hmm. And he was holding Paxton, the little guy, who 5 weeks, and the bright red T-shirt grabbed his eyes, and he was scanning back and forth, and we got our first smile.
Oh, nice.
So it was like everybody was, jumping, the first smile. But I thought, when you say smile, how can you not do it with a smile on your face? Like, that was so cool to, just this bright red T-shirt, and the fact that, my husband is still here, that Grandpa's here to hold him and take him on his first Terry Fox walk. So the T-shirt didn't quite fit him. We got him a child's small. It didn't quite fit him. So we used it as a blanket for him.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome. What a great story. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Well, I don't know if I said last time, but I love just asking people to read the two words above my head. You can't even say those words without a smile. Like, it's hard to say Terry Fox. You can't. It always has a positive emotion just to say them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You getting the waterworks going from that story. Yeah, you kind of feel that patriotism, that pride, and just that inspiration from Terry. Like you said, just seeing that behind you and reading it on the shirt, you get that from it. Just putting these on, you get that kind of that feeling about it and that energy about it. And at times like this, it's so important for us to have that energy and that feeling, because we haven't had a ton of it the last almost couple of years. So very important. Even virtually, again, we're able to recreate some of it, what we could. And here's hoping next year we're back together, because I'm sure it's going to be an insane amount of energy getting people back together and in Terry's name, and having, I know here we have the local radio involved as MCs and musicians and entertainers perform, and having people speak, survivors speak, and things. That's always such a moving morning before the run. So I'm getting excited now, just thinking of the possibility of what that's going to be like after a 2-year hiatus, basically. So, so maybe we'll just we'll switch into our second kind of topic here.
Sure.
You guys mentioned before that on the 29th, I believe, is the kind of school date for the Terry Fox run. So maybe Marilyn, if you want to chat about it a little bit, then we'll pop back into Darren and you guys can chat about kind of what the school date means and maybe what parents out there should be looking for, or maybe aunts and uncles and things like that that might have kids taking part.
Yeah, so I think the school run is September 29th, but a lot of schools I've heard are doing it, different days for a variety of reasons. There's a few other things happening that day as well. Some faculty I've talked to have given their dates that they're going to be doing it. Kids are always excited to do the Terry Fox run. It goes back to that smile. So many kids have also been touched by, somebody in their family who has had cancer. We met a little boy this summer in downtown Barrie, and they had just moved to Barrie. And he was wearing a red T-shirt that day, not a Terry Fox T-shirt, but they were telling us the story about how they had just moved to Barrie, and his mom said he's a cancer survivor, and here he is at 9 years old, and he was a 5-year cancer survivor. So we talked to him. We said it was nice to see him wearing a red T-shirt, and I asked him if he knew why it was important to wear that red T-shirt and for him to sign up and get a Terry Fox one. And I told him that it, shows to other people that research is working and that, he's here to still run in the playgrounds and play with his friends. And he looked at me and he went, okay. He said, I'll get mommy to order me one. So I just, there are stories like that out there where there are children who are in their schools and are survivors. And I think it's important for the kids. It's an important story for them to learn to give back, not just to recognize the day, but just about, the ethics behind giving and sharing and showing kindness. And like you say, Darren, just putting a smile on someone's face. So little kids love to give, and so do big kids too. So I think that's another lesson that can be learned when we celebrate Terry's run at schools.
Yeah, and I think it's like you said, it kind of teaches them at a young age, and then hopefully it's more likely to stick with them as we get older and grow up. Sometimes it's tricky to donate or support or even to fundraise as much as it was when we were little. But if we can get that in them and like I said earlier, kind of maybe understand the importance of it and what it means, like that little boy, he really understands what that red shirt means and the importance of it and the role he plays. And if other kids can understand that importance of it and really relate to Terry, like we've said, and hopefully that's something that carries on with them for years, and we can have another maybe $1 million man like Will Dwyer kind of coming up through the ranks, or $1 million lady coming up through the ranks through school that's raising and doing it year after year and getting those funds together. So that's such a great message. And as again, taking it back to fitness, I like that as kids being active, and typically it'll stick with them longer. So that same thing, those life skills that these activities teach us throughout, and it's like such a great tie-in of those two things. Darren, how about you? Do you want to chat about the school program in Edmonton and anything else you want to tag on to that?
You bet. And it's very much the same as what Marilyn said. National Run Day is the 29th, but schools have to do what's best on their calendar. And I know they've started here. I love it because I get asked, being a teacher before I was diagnosed with cancer. A lot of schools will come out, and normally I'll do 50 or 60 talks in schools. This year I've started, well, I did last year, but I'm doing videos. So today all day I just did a video, and you know what? I could make one, I'm guessing, and send the same one to everybody, but I like to do it individually so I can talk about, hey, last year we did this, and it's been how many years that I've come to your school. And I know the kids love it. And like Marilyn said, the kids, when you have, it's sad to see a child wearing a red shirt, especially a red Terry Fox shirt, but they're neat kids. They're mini adults almost, especially if they're in an elementary school. And I remember saying a stat one day, and this little girl put her hand up and said to me, "Oh, Mr. Park, that's wrong. Your percentage is wrong. It's not 96%. It's 98% because I have that cancer." And it was curable, right?
Right.
So I said, oh, perfect. You got to come with me. So she's done a couple of talks with me since. She's talked to her. But it also shows the other kids, they can think a little bit about what some of these people who they sometimes just think they're sick or they have something and they're not at school, and really how strong they are. And they get out there and they run, and it's like, it's that lesson again that really is that, should I be sad about that, about myself? I've got a little sniffle or something. And it shows that, and it teaches everything. I just love going to schools. It's my not being able to teach. The time that I get to spend with each school, and you get conversations, and kids love to share their stories too, whether it's a grandma, grandpa, or a parent, or themselves, brother and sister. You hear everything, or just a friend, and they need to talk about that, and it teaches them to learn how to talk to other people about it too, that their stories are valuable, and you can talk at any age and share a story. And I think that's where the school runs come in. I don't really push in Edmonton. I'm not hey, you have to donate to the Terry Fox Run Edmonton. Hey, you have to donate to the Terry Fox Foundation. If you have kids at school, please donate to the school, because they usually have the challenges. Hey, if we raise this much, we're going to duct tape the principal to the gym wall for lunch, and things like that. So what I would encourage people to do in the next little while is if you didn't donate to your local run, notice if you're driving by a school in your neighborhood, they probably have their sign up that says Terry Fox Run on this day. Most schools in Edmonton have a sign in front of their school with their calendar dates. You can still go to terryfox.org and click on school run and search, just type in a search for that school's name. And you can donate to those schools too. It makes you feel good, not only donating to the Terry Fox Foundation, but donating to a school to help those kids see that people are also watching what they're doing in the community.
Awesome. That's so great. Thanks for that tip about the donations and looking for the school and community and kind of community a little bit and supporting that way too, and getting that principal duct tape to the wall in gym class. I'm gonna donate to those ones for sure. So yeah, there's the website there, terryfox.org, and then you can look for the school runs and find the school in your area to support for that. That's so great. And I like what you said too. Again, there's so many life lessons, thinking that, and just what you spoke of perspective, of knowing, like you said, I've got a bit of a cold or a rough day, but look at Timmy over there doing so well, and in his red shirt, he's been through so much. And again, getting those survivors to talk and be open to both know that there's people like you who may have been through something similar. So there's a support group there, but then also support talking with their peers and letting them know and kind of explaining more of what's going on and what happens and how they've had to deal with it. So then again, it makes it more kind of relatable maybe. So then maybe the kids go, oh, well, that's Terry did this and my friend's going through this. So this is why we should do it. That's why it's so important. And they love seeing those on the shirt one year, and you can get the banners of who you're running for and that sort of thing. So they can maybe run for their friend or support them or their friend's family or something like that. So it's again, all the life lessons that can come from really a not to downplay it, but a simple, straightforward event of fundraising, the Terry Fox Run. Again, it's no pressure. It's not tons of bells and whistles. It's let's go and let's feed off each other's energy and let's have a positive community and an environment. Let's carry on Terry's legacy and Terry's try and keep moving forward and try to really make the try outweigh the cancer and really push that cancer down in a way. So it's so great to hear, again, just your different perspectives of the school run and local events and how it went and just to get those different sides of experiences. So it's really really cool to hear what both are doing. I know, Marilyn, you mentioned you're doing some videos this year for our schools here in Barrie as well to get out. So it's a nice kind of way, I guess, if we're not affiliated with the schools, maybe we don't hear about it or don't think about it as much, or you see that sign and go, oh yeah, they're doing it, that's good. But now, again, knowing that we can click the link here and then to go to the link and support a school, that's a nice way to give back to community twofold, supporting the school and the Terry Fox Run as well. So thanks, guys, both for sharing those with us. I guess just to we'll kind of go around, and if there's anything extra you want to put in, or any words you want to send, or a story you want to share, or anything, we'll get that in, and as we kind of wrap things up. So Marilyn, if you want to take it home, any last thoughts or follow-up you want to send?
Well, I think two things. I would really like to give a shout out to Liam's Legion, the family who walked on last month. 19-year-old Liam lost his battle with cancer. And their family was out in force on Sunday, and it was just so nice to see that they were out there giving their all. And also, again, to Will, if anybody is still interested in donating, you can connect to his site. I know, Patrick, you have the information for it. If you don't, I'll make sure you have it. But at 96 years old, it's just incredible to see his determination to reach his next goal.
And we, a big shout out to all of the corporate and individual supports to make sure that we have an event. Even a virtual event does have some fixed costs to it. So thank you to everybody that did that. They're thanked on our social media pages, and everybody who participated. Thank you for keeping that dream alive. That's important. Patrick, like you said, next year it's going to come out. We'll be there in full force. I can't wait to have that run. We're having a live run no matter what. I've decided we've learned how to deal with this. We're getting back out there all together. And thank you for your support and continued. And, the Terry Fox season kind of slows down now, but it, like Patrick said, it never stops. You can donate anytime. And April 12th, it turns back into high gear again in 2022 for the 42nd year.
Awesome. I love it. Yeah, I'm ready to go now from my next 5K, thinking about next year and how
September 18th next year. So you can mark your calendar right now.
There we go. September 18th.
September 18th.
You guys know it's like that was my next question. We didn't even rehearse that, folks. We didn't even meet that early or anything.
Read your mind.
That's right. Yeah, on the same page here. Gotta get that right. There we go. September 18th, 2022. Mark your calendars. The 42nd Terry Fox Run. And again, feel free to support your schools. Make donations. Again, if you didn't get out, again, that's my team's still active. terryfox.ca/POYBFit, like pat on your back fitness. POYBFit. You can sponsor the team. You can sponsor me as an individual. I have the links in my social media. You can reach out to the Edmonton or Barrie Terry Fox Run, or any Terry Fox Run in your community, or go to the website and find a close one or the foundation itself, and you can make those donations. And I'm really looking forward to September 18th, 2022. I gotta clear the calendar and get stretched and get ready for that one. We gotta get ourselves moving. So again, like we said, it doesn't have to be a huge amount. Every little bit helps. So any kind of support you can have, and maybe if you're not in a place to donate, maybe you can organize a little something to fundraise, or do a little bake sale, or maybe you can sell a couple things online that you're not using anymore, and donate some of that money. There's lots of options out there. Just be a little creative, just like we have in the last couple of years, and to really work through this. But again, I just want to thank you guys both for being here with us and enjoying and sharing the word. And again, it's been so cool to work with Michael and now with you, Marilyn, on the Barrie side, and Darren, to meet you through Instagram. Again, the account followed me, and that's how we got connected. And I mentioned that it was upcoming, and that's how this all came together. So it's been, I've only had 3 returning guests, so you guys make 4 and 5 in a 2-week period. So you're doing really good. So, but we're looking to make this more of a podcast kind of format and have more guests on and things. So definitely stay in touch, and anything I can do to share what you're doing within your respective committees, let me know, and let's touch base again next year and chat up again and get things going. And like we said, really rock it home and have that nice, positive in-person energy that we're all going to be able to have next year in the Terry Fox Run. So again, terryfox.org. If you guys want to make any donations, any sponsors, or more information, you can kind of find things there. If you're not sure, you can reach out to me, and I can put you in contact with either a committee or, again, to the websites and different links. Will Dwyer's link as well. I can send you that. I'll post it in the notes here when I post this to our profiles after. Thanks so much, guys. Anything left that you want to throw in that you just thought of, or
just keep trying like Terry?
Exactly.
That's it on that. Try like Terry. Let's keep spreading that positivity pandemic. That's all part of this too, is helping our communities out, staying involved, staying active, and doing what we can to help each other and stay kind. Thanks so much, guys, again for being here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Have a great night. Stay safe. Remember, always make yourself the priority you deserve to be by striving to be operationally fit. Take care.
Awesome.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.